I could put it right there. Maybe it won't fall. Maybe, right? Should I turn my truck off? I might need to. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start this video. Good morning, everyone. It's your girl, Miss Diva Trucker, and I know you guys haven't seen me for a minute, okay? But I have been busy, so I'm coming today, and I'm gonna do a live video. Good morning, Swift. Um, but yeah, I'm doing a live video to give you guys an update. You know, we've been going through a lot uh throughout this whole with the market and all this kind of stuff. Good morning, Calvin. Good morning. It's been a long minute, right? But I just wanted to come and give you guys an update. When I tell y'all that, you know, sometimes you gotta take some time to yourself and work on your business and focus on the things that you want to do, that's exactly what I mean. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a little update what's been going on. There goes Sean. Y'all might be able to see our Sean. Uh-oh.
Everything good?
Yeah, I'm on my live.
Oh,
There goes Sean, y'all. Yeah, I'm
I'll
on
head
my.
back to the truck.
Okay. So, oh, goodness gracious, y'all don't fail. Y'all don't fail. Okay, I'm trying to keep y'all up here. Okay, so what's been going on? What kind of changes are happening? How's the market looking? How have we been doing, you know, with the trucks and everything like that? Guys, it has been, you are on Shiva. Thank you so much. But I wanted to come and just kind of, you know, encourage you all today and let you know that, you know, keep pushing. It is not easy at all. We've been through a lot. When I tell you, with breakdowns and all kinds of stuff, okay? And mostly it's getting these trucks fixed, okay? One of the things that when you have your own authority, it's a lot of responsibility, as far as keeping up with your paperwork, as far as making sure, thank you, JV, as far as making sure that you're compliant, safety, all kinds of stuff, right? So what I did was, since the last time you guys saw me, was just focus on the business. Sometimes you have to take a step back and work on whatever it is that generates you the revenue, right? So trucking is what generates the revenue. So it's making sure we keep these 3 trucks running, making sure that, you know, we keep them on the road and all kinds of stuff. So we've been dealing with like breakdowns, especially with my 2016. So I'm in the 2016, my first truck that I paid off, and it was so important to me to make sure that I keep this truck. Market isn't expected to rebound until around mid second or third quarter. Right? It's turning around a little bit. So it's not as bad as it was. Like, it's not like the worst that it was when it got down to like $1.50 and all that kind of stuff. It's not that, okay? But it's starting to like maintain a little bit. You can start right now seeing a little light at the end of the tunnel, right? And through it all, so many carriers, so many owner operators had just been in business, went out of business. And we talked about that before. When them trucks was so high, remember they was a lot of money, and like a 2016 was like $60,000, you know, and it was just unheard of numbers, right? And people had to buy all this equipment to be able to keep their trucks running, to be able to maintain being a carrier. The trailers was outrageous. It was just crazy, okay? And so many people was getting in the market because of the rates being the way it was, not expecting a crash, not expecting that, you know, it was going to burst. Like, it does in trucking. It's rotation. It's like it goes up, it goes down, whatever the case may be. And you always got to be prepared for that market. Okay. That's why you always have to keep your costs low and don't grow too fast. Okay. So when I brought these trucks, the other two trucks, when I brought those, it was at the peak. It was at the top. It was like, we doing 16 a week. Good morning, Trayon. Since my LTI days, yep. So, we was like getting into it, and everything was great. Everything was doing what it was supposed to, right? Freightwaves is spot if they don't watch Freightwave, yeah. And one of the keys to I believe my survival is not being on the spot market, not being on the low board, not being just out there picking freight. Okay, so we when everybody is going through this turmoil, right? KB since the KLLM days, right? So when everybody is going through this, right? I chose to run my fleet under a fleet, like under a huge carrier, okay? And the reason why is because I knew they had contracted freight, so their prices will remain basically kind of the same, right? And then if it was going to drop, it wasn't going to drop below where I couldn't survive. So that's what I choose to do. When I got my authority, I never did buy a trailer. I still don't have a trailer now. I don't own a trailer. I knew in this market that there's so many trailers out here that I would rather move other people's trailers than to be having the cost of my own trailer. So I at least signed up with JB Hunt, with USA, with people that did power only. Okay, and that was really the key to my success, being able to survive this long, right? And another thing is I'm able to put my son on. So everybody that is working is in-house. Okay, so I got Arshawn right there in the truck. I got myself. I got my partner. So we keep the trucks moving. People say, well, why you're in the truck? Because one of the things that you have to do as a business owner, sometimes you have to make the sacrifice. I could go sit in my office, and hire somebody, or I can get out here and do it myself. I got a CDL and also be able to keep my numbers low. So that was very important to me. Okay, my office sat, I want to say, empty for like almost a year. Okay, because it wasn't important for me to be in the office. It was important for me to keep the trucks moving, right? And what changes have I made? Okay, I got to change my name because I'm no longer recruiting. I do not do CDL recruiting, and the reason why is I'm out of touch, right? So when I was working for, KLLM, LTI, all these other places, I knew all these companies like Swift. I knew all the companies, and I knew their criteria. I knew how you were able to get in, what you needed, everything. But since I've been under my authority, I'm like out of pocket. I'm out of touch. I don't know what you need to require to get your CDL, or I don't know what it is that you need to do to work at this company. I don't know what's the best owner operator company that you could go to, right? I don't know who has percentage and where they run. I can read that stuff off to you. I had over 50 companies, and I could read it off to you pretty quickly, right? But when you're working on your authority, some of the things you have to focus on. And if you have your hands on too many things, everything may not work, right? So you got to take the things that is your bread and butter. You got to focus on that, and you got to grow from there, right? So recruiting is something that I don't do anymore. And then I was getting like calls, and how you going to focus on your own business if you're helping, all these other people, and the phone calls and all this kind of stuff. I was like, hey, I got to zero in. I got to focus. I got to make sure that these numbers are correct. And I got to take care of this business before I take care of anybody else's, right? So, recruiting, I don't do anymore. Okay. So if you're calling about what company I need to go to, who I need to sign up with, what owner operator position, who's hiring regional or whatever the case may be, I don't know. Okay. I haven't done that in a couple of years, and I moved on from that, right? So now, what about the brokerage? Okay. So same thing with the brokerage. The brokerage is still active. I still have it, but I needed to focus on one thing at a time. And the bread and butter for me is the trucks. I can always do the brokerage. I can always go back into the office, always do that. And now, since that we have reached the 3 year mark, guess what? Now could get a better price on insurance. Okay. So I'm coming up on my 3rd year renewal of insurance, of trucking insurance, and hopefully we'll be in a better place of the rates that we have now, right? The other thing is, if y'all didn't remember, I was appointed to the truck leasing task force, okay, with the FMCSA. So there's a lot of things that, I may have wanted to do. I focus on that as well to make a change in the industry so that people are not being taken advantage of, especially when it comes to leasing a truck. Okay, because I've been through it. I know what people go through, and I don't want other drivers or owner operators going through that. So we've made some huge progress with the truck leasing task force. Number one, I will be at the Mid America Truck Show. Okay, so I think we are doing a open forum for people. You know how you go to the Mid America Truck Show, and the FMCSA always have a topic that they want to talk to drivers about, and we want you to be vocal about it, and to be able to talk about, any issues or any things that you've been dealing with and whatever changes that are about to be made, right? So that's what's going to happen. So that's where I would be. I would be at the truck show. If y'all see me, say hello, whatever the case may be. But we will probably, I think we're having a panel up there for truck drivers to talk about their lease, okay, and their lease agreements and things like that, for you to be able to share those things with us, so we will be able to make a better decision for lease drivers in the future, right? So that's what I've been focusing on. Okay. Right now, the 2016 is up and running. Some of the things that was going on with the repairs, when you have, guys, an older truck, a used truck, an older truck, and my truck has 800,000 miles on it, okay? But it's a well-built truck. Even this truck, I feel, runs better than my 2019s, okay? It was like, when this truck was built, it's like solid, okay? But with a 2016, you're going to have some issues, okay? One of the main issues that you're going to have with a truck that has all these miles on it is going to be, you're going to start having DEF issues, okay? You're going to either have to replace your one box, you're going to have to replace the sensors, you're going to have to either get it cleaned out, because you're supposed to get your DEF system cleaned out every 200,000 miles, okay? And that's a cost, that's an expense, okay? And if that one box goes out on you, you either going to have a choice you're going to have to replace it, okay? And that's a cost of maybe, anywhere between $8,000 and $13,000, right? So a lot of people don't have that just on hand to be given over to do those type of repairs, okay? So a lot of people start to sell their older trucks. You will see that the prices of trucks have went down significantly. Like, you can get a 2016 right now for about $20,000 to $30,000. Okay, that lets me know that we're about to get back to where we need to be. Okay, it's like how they say, big bank take little bank. So they trying to, the market, the way it is right now, is trying to get all these one truck operators that came in when the boom is, to give them a reality check of what trucking really is. And a lot of people have found out. Okay. And it's going to balance back off. Okay. Still, there's not a lot of people that we still, it still need to be some more folks out of business. Okay, a little bit before we gonna really see it start to go back up. Okay. And that's just business. If you understand trucking, you already know that this has happened before, it will happen again. Okay, so you never can get too comfortable of where you're at. You always got to stay on top of it, and always got to watch your costs, and you have to make the sacrifices to do whatever it is that you need to do to keep your business running. Okay, and that means focusing on self, focusing on stop entertaining people, building your business, concentrating. If you got to go out and stay an extra couple of weeks or whatever the case may be, do that. If you have to cut down on your bills, or whatever the case may be, do that, because this you're supposed to be in this for the long haul. You're supposed to be in it for, if you in this industry for 10 more years, I'm 10 years in this industry. Okay. So I do know how things can change, and they can change very suddenly. Okay. Numbers are starting to go back up. They're not where I really, really want them, my sweet spot, but they're getting there, right? Arshawn is coming in with his numbers. I'm coming in. We was on, me and Arshawn was on the truck for a long time, teaming. So that meant only 2 trucks was running, right? So we got all of them fixed. I think the one of the 2019s needed a CP, the computer. Okay. With the Freightliners, guys, if y'all ever get this windshield replaced, okay, you're gonna have leaks on your Freightliner forever and ever, and there's no way that you're going to be able to get rid of that. Okay, so when it rains really hard and it keeps doing it over and over again, and you're not covering this spot up in here, it's tend to will rain out that computer, so you have to get that fixed. That's about like what, $1,000 to do that. So I had to get the CPC. You got to get your tires. Every time you look around, I'm buying tires, buying tires. What else did I get replaced on that truck? Got to get the AC. Now that it's getting warmer, I got to get a AC compressor. Okay. This truck, I've been having problems with the regen. So working with, every time I go out or do something, I will have to go into regen mode, and it will not do a forced regen. So it will start to derate. Okay. And then you running into getting it towed, all kinds of stuff. Okay. So now, got everything done. All the trucks are out on the road, and now we're get ready to deal with insurance. Okay, so this is what the future holds for me. Right now, like I say, I'm not doing recruiting, so don't email me, message me, nothing like that about a company that you should go to or whatever the case may be, because I don't do that anymore. Okay, I'm not teaching brokering. I'm not doing that anymore. I am focusing on building this fleet. So right now we're at 3. This year, the plan is to focus on hiring owner operators. Okay, so I will be looking at the insurance, seeing if the numbers make sense, but it got to make sense. It didn't make any sense to hire or to add on owner operators within the last 2 years. It just didn't make sense, especially if I don't have my own customers. Like if I'm not a company and I have my own contracts on my own customers, it would not make sense for me as a carrier to hire owner operators and take 15% away from them. And freight is only like $1.50, sometimes less than that. Okay, so it didn't make sense at the time, but now it's starting to make sense. We're putting the numbers together so that I will be able to add. Okay, where am I going to? My next expansion, we're going to go from 3 to I want to say about 10. So I'm ready to get with about 7 owner operators to sign on and go from there. Okay, are we out of the water yet? No. not by a long shot. Okay. And also, in order to get the better or the best insurance rates that I can have owner operators, you have to have 3 years of your authority being solid. You have to have 3 years of your authority with no safety issues, no out of services, no log violations, none of that. Okay, in order to expand your fleet. All right, so we've made that point. We made it. And guys, let me tell you something. It has not been like a cakewalk. Okay, it's been hard. And sometimes, to be honest with you, I contemplated, like, really giving up. Okay, I was like, this is hard. And it was like every time you get out of one situation, here come another situation, right? Every time you get one truck fixed, here come another truck that was breaking down. And it was like it was just like I didn't know whether I was coming or going, you know? And it just got to a place, it had almost got to a place where I was like, Arshawn, hey, maybe we just let the trucks sit wait, the truck sit for a while. I didn't want to put him in a situation that I'm not able to pay him because he has a family. He has his own household, and I wanted to make sure that he is okay. And I don't ever want to put somebody in a situation that, I'm not able to pay him, right? So I was like, Arshawn, I don't know, maybe it would be better, like if for temporarily until the numbers come up, maybe it would maybe better for you to be at another company just to make sure that you're okay. I don't want, you to get in a situation that you can't pay your bills or I can't pay you or whatever the case may be. And one thing about Arshawn, he was just like, Mom, we in this together, and whatever I gotta do, I'm going to help you, and we're gonna make this work. So we just like dug into it. Like, he got that truck. Now he's running on his own. I'm running, like, I don't run every day, but I'll come out, like if it's a short run like right now, and I could do like a turnaround and do maybe 1,000 in one day. I will come out here, and if it's a dropping hook or whatever the case may be, I'll come out here, run that little load, and go back to the house. Okay. And things just started turning around and looking up for the better. And I was like, if I didn't have him, what would I done? You know what I'm saying? Like, and my business partner, everybody just kind of like dug in and was like, hey, we got this. We're going to get through with this. And every time when I thought that, it was like, okay, this is it. I don't think I'm going to be able to come out of this. Something happened where everything worked out, and we just got back up and we just kept going. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. Things are going to get tough. Things are going to get hard. There's going to be times where you don't know if, you're going to be able to keep your business going or whatever the case may be. And just keep the faith, and always remember that God is not going to put no more on you than you could bear. And these challenges that you have is only going to make you a stronger person. It's going to make you a stronger business owner. You're going to be able to overcome the challenges that happen on the road, and that you take those lessons and you use that to grow. It will make you a better business owner. What if we didn't go through anything out here? Okay, and that's just not life. That's just not the way the trucking industry works. We're going to go through some trials, we're going to go through some errors, and it's how you bounce back from that. Okay, so I wanted to give you some encouragement today. And also, if y'all haven't noticed, I've lost 44 pounds. I don't know if I could stand up or whatever the case may be, but I'm down 44 pounds. Okay, so I have they haven't even started on me, but I have my starting weight was 210 pounds. Okay, and right now I'm 165 pounds, so I am 44 pounds down. And what I do is, if you haven't noticed, I'm on Facebook and I have a group that's called Peptides for Beginners, and I run a peptide group. Okay, so that's what I've been working on, and those are the things that you need to do. Like, you got to focus on yourself. When everything is happening, you have to like take some time and be like, hey, let me just focus on me for right now. Let me do the things that I need to do to make sure that my business is okay. And then once I'm able to breathe above water, then, I can take phone calls and I can tell people what to do or help them out or whatever. But you got to save yourself first, okay? You got to do that first. And it's okay if you need to take a break. It's okay, that you don't let everybody know what's going on in your business and your day-to-day operation. It's not for everybody. Your journey, remember, is only for you, right? And take that time to really dig deep and figure out what it is that you want to do. And you're going to have setbacks. Okay, it doesn't mean that you failed at anything or whatever the case may be. You're dealing with the journey of what we got going on out here. And sometimes you may have setbacks. Sometimes, you may have to give up your truck. Sometimes you may have to go and work back at a company, and that's okay. But you're still going, right? You still going. You still getting up every day. You still making it happen. You still going to do the things that you need to do, because for one thing's for certain, that whatever you got and lost, you can always get it back again, right? You can always get it back again. So don't give up. Don't be discouraged, and just keep going. But I just wanted to let you know what I was up to, what we're doing. So if you see Miss Diva on the road, nobody wants my 2016. Why? Because I got all this pink stuff on it. It says Miss Diva Trucker on the truck. So every time that people are out and they see this truck, they're thinking that, it's me or I'm in it. So I said, give me my 16. I will drive that. And because it's my baby. This is my baby, okay? And this is the first truck that I've ever paid off. And I just can't let it go. So I've done everything that I needed to do to get it back working, and it's solid and it runs good. The only thing I need some Freon, okay? What are some of the things that I've done and repairs on this truck? Um, Yesterday I went into there's a place in Jackson, Georgia, that works on trucks, and they replace parts. So yesterday I went and got what did I get? I had a coolant leak. Okay, so I had to get it's a long tube of your coolant, and I had to get that replaced, and it was like, I think about $100 and something, but it had a crack in it, so you could see the fluid running out of it slowly. So I went and got that done. Okay. um what else? Oh, mud flaps. For some reason, I was missing two mud flaps. Okay, I think it came from that carnival run that I did, but I had to get two mud flaps replaced. And I'm not just talking about the mud flap, like the thing, the plastic piece. I'm talking about the whole thing. Okay, so I was missing like two of them. What else that I got done? Oh, one of my straps, because this is an older truck, and it's been through so much, like weather wise, especially with rain and snow and all that kind of stuff. A lot of stuff starts to like rust out on the back of the truck. So one of the things that I got replaced, I didn't notice. I was walking around it and I was like, it's supposed to be two straps on this fuel tank, right? So one of my straps on the fuel tank busted off. Okay, so that's not a good thing, because if you're going down the highway and that other one breaks, you could lose a fuel tank. So I had to get that replaced. What else did I get replaced? I got the mud flaps, the yoke. Okay, what is the yoke? The yoke is it's a little centerpiece that goes in where your differential is. You have a front and rear differential, and the yoke that it goes in there, right? And so what that was doing, it was leaking. Okay, so and I think maybe, I'm not sure, that with that 2019 when that truck caught on fire, it was like, I think maybe, that could have been the case with that. Okay, but the yoke was leaking oil, so I got that replaced. That was like $100 part. Okay, so I got that replaced, and got that sealed up. And what else did I get done? I think that's it. I think that's it. So now we're good. I don't have any lights on the truck. Like, it's not lighting up with no check engine light, none of that. Okay. So it's good. So this truck has 810,000 miles on it. Okay. When I got this truck, it had about 400,000 miles on it. And it's just solid. It's a good pulling truck. It really is. It's really solid. So I don't mind driving it. I'm gonna do a couple of things, like I was thinking about like replacing the seats or whatever. But I see a lot of trucks on the road that are older trucks. Okay, and people are keeping those trucks moving, and they keeping them running, and I'm like, I'm not giving up my truck. I mean, you got trucks out here that are older than mine. Okay, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. I would rather repair the truck instead of going to buy another truck and having the note or the payment on that truck. Okay, one thing can nobody do is take this one away. Okay, so other than that, guys, so you should see some more things coming down the pipeline. Like I said, I will be in Matt's. Matt's is the Mid-America Truck Show. It is going to be going on March the 21st through the 23rd. Okay, and I will be up there, but I'm probably just going to come in, when it's my time to come in, or whatever the case. And that's it. What else I got going on? 10-year anniversary. Okay, is this year 10 years in trucking, 3 years under authority. All right, so you will get there. If you are pushing as far as advice, what kind of advice will I give? As far as, is it time to go out on your authority, or keep being an owner operator, or buying a truck, or whatever the case may be? My advice that I would give right now is to still hold on. Now, if you're thinking about getting your own truck, yes, right now is a good time to go ahead and get a truck, because of the prices of them. Okay, right now, 2 years ago when I brought my trucks, I think I paid like 60,000 for my trucks. And right now you can get the same trucks for maybe about 50,000. Okay, 50 some, if it's under like 500,000 miles. Okay, so right now, with your payments and everything, it will be good. Still maybe lease on under somebody right now. It's not quite up enough for you to really be making a whole lot of money under your authority. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay, not unless if you become a carrier with some of the larger companies. Okay, so right now, like I've stayed solid. I stayed the same with the same thing, power only, with JB and USA. And the reason why I do that is because I'm able to pick my own freight. Okay, nobody dispatches me. Nobody tells me I got to pick, be here at a certain time, or whatever the case may be. I'm able to pick my freight. I'm able to pick my loads that, for JB, you could pick up to, I think, 3 loads at a time. With USA, you're able to pick up to 5 loads at a time. I have a great relationship with both, with JB and US. I was grandfathered in when they had the 80%. So I'm still on the 80% over there. And I'm over here, I think, on the 85. Okay. So I'm able to maintain it doing that way. I don't have to worry about a trailer. I'm always hooking up to somebody else's trailer. Okay. So I don't have that maintenance cost of a trailer. I don't have to worry about the insurance of having my own trailer. I have trailer interchange. Okay, so that means that I can hook up to anybody's trailer, right? Safety numbers are good. If you're going to get your authority, one truck, okay. My recommendation would to be able to sign on to a carrier, okay, for right now. I have not. I can't tell you. Only thing that I could tell you about the market is what I've seen with the numbers and with the data or whatever. I haven't been on a low board. I haven't seen or called or see what people are offering for their lows or anything like that. I don't talk to brokers. The only thing that I do is I go on my low boards, I pick my lows, and I maintain the truck. So I dispatch all three trucks, make sure that they are running, and that's it. So once I start on adding the owner operators, eventually, yes, I will have to get out the truck. It's getting very difficult, okay, because I'm really busy during the week as far as picking loads, doing paperwork, making sure the compliance is there. Right now, I'm working on insurance. So with insurance, what do you have to do when you renew your insurance, right? One of the things that you have to do is you have to make sure that you completed your safety audit, okay? And once you pass that, then you're kind of good. You also, when you're turning in your stuff to get the best rate on your insurance, you got to turn in what is called a loss run report, okay? That means that you haven't had any accidents, that you lost your any freight or anything, and you got to make sure that you don't have any of those things on your lost run, okay? Another thing you got to do when you're renewing your insurance is you got to have all your driver's license, okay? You got to make sure that your drivers don't have any incidents, any tickets, nothing. They got to be clean, okay? If you're looking for the best rate on your insurance, you got to make sure no loss runs, okay? You file your IFTA every quarter, okay? Because you're gonna have to turn that in. You're gonna have to turn in a year worth of IFTA to get your insurance renewed, because they want to know how many miles you're putting on your trucks, okay? You gotta have your three drivers. Like if I have 10 drivers, I have to get all their driver's license, make a copy of that. We got to run the reports for them to make sure that they don't have any tickets, accidents, or anything like that, okay? For all your drivers. Uh, um, and you want to make sure that those drivers that you hire have over 2 years experience, okay? You want to make sure they have 2 years experience. You want to make sure that they don't have any failed drug tests, okay? You don't want any of that. If you're trying to lower your costs on your insurance, you got to make sure that you do that, okay? You got to make sure that they're compliant, DOT compliant, as far as drug testing them. Okay, making sure, I go in and take one. It ain't nothing to walk up to. I go to a place called Go Fusion. It's only $60. I was with Concentra. Concentra was like $200 to do all what I needed them to do. But I go to Go Fusion. It's $60. I make, everybody, randomly just go in there and just take one, so I can, just have that, right? You want to have that. You want to have your IFTA reports, okay? You want to have that. So all those things take in consideration when you are searching for your insurance. So hopefully this year, I am hoping to be with Great West. Okay, Great West, because Great West is a good insurance company. God, they started loading me. Okay. And the reason is Great West is a good insurance company when you have multiple trucks. Okay, you start getting that discount. You start getting that discount when, oh, my air is going out in my truck. But you start getting that discount when you have about 5 trucks. You start, really seeing a discount. Okay, and if you do that and you're able to make sure that you're hiring safe drivers, and you're able to keep your record clean, and you're able to be compliant with the FMCSA, like no accidents, no tows, no long violations and stuff like that, you will see your insurance go down. Okay, keeping the fuel costs down, and that's it. So if I had to give you an example of what it is to have your own authority and some of the costs that's involved, because I want you to think about that, right? They loaded me. I'm sorry, guys, but I do want you to think about some of the costs. Okay, and I'm gonna give you costs on 3 trucks. All right. So I'm gonna give you costs on 3 trucks, right? Okay. In a week, in a month, okay, your insurance, if you have a new authority and you have 3 trucks, your insurance is gonna run you about $6,000 a month. Okay. It will run you about $2,000 a month if you have 1 truck. All right, because you're brand new. Okay, I'm giving you my numbers. Some people's numbers may be different. Okay, but I'm giving you my numbers. Okay, so 1 truck with your authority, $2,000 a month. I got 3 trucks, so insurance will be about $6,000. This average, okay. Your plates, okay. Your plates is going to cost you about $1,500 in Georgia, okay, per truck. Okay, so you're looking at about what, $4,000 for your plates every year. Okay, and then it's an extra cost if you decide that you want to pay for your own operator plates, or you're going to have them pay for it. Okay, so if you're going to have your own operators pay for their plates, they will, have that cost. But if you're going to pay for it, then that's going to be your cost. Okay, so okay, you got your insurance, you got your plates. Okay, what else? What else? You're going to need at least about $10,000 just to get started. Okay, just to have some. Oh my God, could have felt like he was coming through the door. Okay, you're gonna have to have some get started money. Okay, and that's going to be at least 10,000. This is after you done got your truck and all this kind of stuff, and you ready to get your authority. You gonna at least have to have about 10,000, and that's what it's called, get started money. Okay, because that's going to go pretty quick. All right, you're going to have to do your IFTA. Your IFTA for the year is $500 per truck, so that's $1,500. Okay, then you're going to have to get your things like your UCR. You're going to have to get something else, your UCR, something else. You're going to have to make sure that you get your ELDs. Okay, so you'll purchase your ELD, whatever cost that is, but then you're going to have a monthly charge for your drivers. Okay, so you got to make sure that you have that. Also, what else? Fuel. Okay, fuel costs me about $4,000 a week. Okay, if I'm really running these trucks like I want, like, I to really run them like we out here just hustling, getting it, fuel is going to be about 4,400. Okay, so that's about what, 1,500 per truck, 15 to 17. I really think that's kind of low, a little bit. That's about an average, but with all 3 trucks running, you're going to look at about 4,000 a week. Okay, so if you take 4,000 and you times that by what, 4 weeks, you're looking at about $16,000 a month in fuel. Okay, now you may have some equipment charges. All right, what are those equipment charges? You're gonna have your truck notes. Okay, so that's why it's very important to have paid off equipment. Okay, so I gotta pay my truck notes. Okay, that runs about $3,500 a month. Okay, so we at $16,000 a month. Then you got another 3,500 a month. Now we at what, 20,000? Then we got 6,000 in insurance. We at 26,000. Then you got what else? Then you got tires. Okay, tires about $300 to $400 a tire. So if I got what, 12 tires, okay, on one truck. Okay, imagine replacing tires on 3 trucks. Okay, then you got to get a PM, a couple of $100 here, there, and then just, everyday stuff that may happen. An airline may go out, a coolant leak. Okay, you got to be prepared for all of that. All right. So now I just told you about what, 4,000 in fuel a week. So we at 16,000 a month. You got to do your maintenance. Okay, that's going to run you about 5,000-6,000 a month. Okay, then you got to run your truck notes. That's 3,700 a month. Okay, then you're gonna have to do your insurance. That's 6,000 a month. Okay, then we got to pay for tolls. You got to pay for tolls on all 3 trucks. Okay, then you got to pay for your IFTA. That comes up every quarter. Okay, Kentucky, you got to do that. Okay, it's a lot of things. So just with that, of what I told you, we had what, 35. I got to come up with 35, okay, to 40,000 a month just to run these trucks. Okay, and that ain't even that don't have anything to do with your personal bills. Okay, you got to pay your drivers. Okay, my drivers $1,500 a week. Okay, so 1,500 to 1,700 a week. Okay, and you got to pay your drivers. That's an expense. Okay, and you also got to then you got your personal bills. Okay, so then you have your personal bills. Hold on, what's that? Okay. So then you got your personal bills. So you may have a mortgage. You may have your home insurance. You may have your car notes. You may have your insurance on your vehicles. You got your light bill, your water bill, your gas bill, your phones. Okay, that's a cost. Okay, so it's a lot. So like, if you don't see me, just know, listen, Miss Tamara working. Okay, she got to come up with 30,000 a month just to maintain the trucks. Okay, that's not even without my bills. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, when you are trying to make the decision that you want to have your own authority. Okay, I give you real numbers. That ain't no jokey joke. So you got to be ready. So even if you got one truck and you're getting your authority, there's still a lot of costs involved. Okay, so be wary of that. Would I, if I had one truck, would I go and get my authority right now? It would be better for you to lease on. Okay, because you don't have the overhead of all that other stuff that I was just telling you about. Okay, and you could be able to keep your truck moving until one or two things happen. One, either you pay your truck off, okay, or two, these rates go back up where it's going to maintain you throughout your expenses and all the things that you need to do. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you to let you know, hey, everybody that's running around here with authorities and stuff like that, it's real. It really is. I've never seen, I was so happy when I was leasing, and you get your $1,500 to $1,700 a week. Sometimes if you're lucky, you may get $2,000 a week or whatever, to where real bills hit you. And this is not temporarily. Like, I'm going to have that $3,700 for 4 years. Okay, I'm going to have that $6,000 every month. Okay, so when you start to have breakdowns and it start to be a roller coaster effect, it's very easy for you to go out of business quickly. So if you don't have a strong support system, if you're not focused on what it is that you need to do, Take some time out to yourself. Like, social media is not important when you got 25 to 30 something $1,000 in bills a month. That's not important. Being able to get on and tell about this, that, the other, nothing. Because if these trucks go down, if I'm not able to pay my bills, nobody's on social media is going to help me. Ain't nobody going to say, here, hey Diva, I got you 30,000 this month. Don't worry about it, okay? Just give us a video. Nobody. Okay, so you got to prioritize, and you got to figure out what's most important. Do you want to run a trucking company, okay, or do you want to play? So if you want to run a trucking company, you can't make yourself available for everybody at every time somebody needs something. You just can't. You got to focus on your business. You got to understand that your time is valuable, right? And you can't just be having these everyday conversations. I got real bills going on over here, okay? So I have to make sure that I focus on that. And there's nothing more important than to make sure that we stay afloat, that we stay above water, and we do the things that we need to do. So I don't play with people at all. When I feel like somebody's wasting my time or whatever the case may be, I can't have those conversations about, I'm thinking about getting a truck. Let me know when you got one, okay? Let me know what you're trying to do. If whatever it is that you're trying to do, I don't have time to just talk about it. 2024, it's about action, okay? You got to show what you're talking about, okay? Because if you're just talking and you're just thinking about this and all this kind of stuff, nope. We doing it. We doing it. We've been doing it for 3 years. Okay. So, but yeah, that's what it is. That's why you have not seen me, and you probably won't see me for all the time on the social media, on the YouTube, because I'm doing other things and I'm focusing on the business, and I am loving being able to help other drivers and other people to lose weight, to meet their weight loss journey. Okay, so now I got to really start focusing on this, because now you got all the skin and stuff like that. But yeah, being healthy too, and it's summertime coming up. Okay, I want to be able to, I think I want to get down to about 30 more pounds. Okay, so 30 more pounds to go, and I'll be at my goal weight. All right, but you can start seeing it in my face. My face will start coming down, or whatever the case may be. I definitely see it in my clothes. So I haven't really went out and purchased like new clothes and stuff like that, because I'm not at my goal weight. So, if you're interested in doing that, and you want to be out here, you want to be more healthy on the road, and you want to lose weight and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? The thing I love about people that support me, and drivers, especially drivers and people that know, I've been in this trucking industry for 10 years, right? Whatever I do, no matter if I'm selling candy on the side of the road, okay, they will support, right? They don't care if I'm selling bubble gum out at the shipper or whatever the case may be. They will support. And I have so many supporters that have joined me on this weight loss journey, and we have a safe place that we can talk about our weight loss, and how much that we, how it's helped them, and how it's changed their life for the better. And I'm talking about people that weigh like 300 pounds, 350 pounds or whatever. My truck drivers, my men out here that, it's like, Tamara, I want to get this weight off of me, and they are doing it, and they are losing their weight, and they are, steady my customers, and steady my, whatever the case may be. And it just doesn't matter when you have that kind of support from people. And it's like, I don't care what you're doing. If you doing the CDL recruiting, every time I need a job, I'm gonna call you. Okay, if you're doing the brokering, every time I need a load, I'm gonna call you. If I want to learn about being able to broker loads, because I still can teach, I still have the knowledge. It's just I'm not doing it right now. Okay, so if I'm doing that, they're gonna call and say, hey, sign me up. Whatever it is, sign me up. I'm doing it. Okay. If I am Now I'm doing with the weight loss, because that's what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on my health, my health. Okay, so I was 210 pounds. So when people start seeing, like, on TikTok and Facebook and stuff, I come in, I do a weekly check-in, and I'm dropping 2 pounds. I'm dropping 2 pounds. So like 3 months later, folks are looking at me like, wait a minute, she was just 210, now she 180, now she wants 65. Like, wait a minute, I'm trying to be over there where I don't want to be 300 and something pounds no more. I'm trying to do what she doing. Okay, so that's what I love about people that really truly support me. Like, they may not say nothing, because they may not be on that type of time. Like, they may not want to do broker, and they may not want to do dispatching, right? But that don't mean that they don't follow and they don't support, right? They may not need me for to be a recruiter for them, right? But that don't mean that they don't follow and support. But then I'm talking about losing weight, and I'm talking about being healthy, and I'm talking about getting to your goal weight, right? And I'm talking about you don't have to, be 300-400 pounds on a truck, right? I'm talking about that. And now it's like, wait a minute, I want to lose weight. Now it's something different that I'm talking about that is like affecting them. So even though I haven't heard or talked to somebody in a low 7-8 years of what I've been doing, right? Now it's like, okay, that's something I want to get involved with. You talking about health, you talk about losing weight, and I'm seeing you dropping every time you get on the scale. It's 1-2 pounds down. So I want to do that, and that's what I rock with. I love people that support. It don't matter what it is that I'm doing. If it's something that affects them and their life, and it's something that they want to do, and I'm doing it, they will jump on the bandwagon and they support. And they've been my testimony. My truck drivers, the men, the women that's in there, there's like over 700 people. I don't get on here and talk about it, because that's a journey that, if that's a lifestyle change that you want to do, you join. You go in there. It's not nothing to join or anything. I do consultations. That's the only time I talk on the phone, is to do my weight loss consultations. Okay, and they're not a charge or nothing like that. It's just to encourage each other on your weight loss goals and where you're trying to be. Some people want to lose 100 pounds, some people want to lose 50 pounds, some people, whatever your goal is. I get on the phone with those people and I talk to them. So those are the only conversations. If it ain't about losing weight and all that kind of stuff, whatever. But I got to, you evolve. You talk about different things. I can't talk about the same thing. I've been telling y'all about trucking for 10 years. I want to talk about something else. Okay, I've been telling you how to get your CDLs. I've been telling you how to move your tandems. I've been telling you how to train. I've been telling you how to get your money. I've been telling you how to buy your truck. I've been telling you how to get your authority. I've been telling you um how to get your authority. I've been telling you how to do brokering. I've been telling you how to dispatch. I've been telling you these things over the last 10 years, right? So now we got to involve, we got to talk about other things. We got to talk about health now. We got to talk about your weight goals and stuff like that, and still continue to grow. And those videos that I have, they're going to always be there. Like, they always still get comments, and people still think that, can you tell me what I need to do to sign up for Swift? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know what you need to do. I haven't looked at Swift criteria in the last couple of years. I don't know. And it's not trying to be rude or anything. It's like, I'm on to something else now. We talk about authority. We got to worry about the requirements of joining Lewis and Lewis. Okay, so that's what type of time I'm on. And other than that, that's it. But how many times? I usually do like an hour. Okay, and just pour in. And I just want to see what's up with you guys. Do you have any questions for me? Anything that you want to know? Whatever the case may be, hey, this is our time to talk. This is our time to check in with each other before I get on the road. I'm getting ready to take this up to do a drop, and I'm going back home. I expect to be home yesterday. I was just going to do a turnaround, a quick down and back, but I was in the shop all day. Yes, these people took their time. And I could have waited until I don't know about that cooling leak. I think that was a good choice to go ahead and get that done. Um, but yeah. So the next thing is, I don't think I'm gonna buy any more trucks right now. I don't know. It just depends. Um, um, the way they are right now. But then if I buy trucks, I gotta look for drivers, and I gotta have the right people around me, and all that kind of stuff. If I get owner operators, they're gonna be responsible for their own thing. They got their own truck. They used to doing their own thing, and they just want to be able to have a place where they can get their loads from and go about your business, because I don't like micromanaging. I don't like babysitting, and I don't like telling you what to do. We have a partnership. So the partnership would be the 85-15 right now, right? So, and that means that you just have my number, my DOT number, MC number, and you under my authority, and you can book a load with anybody that you want to, because with 3 years under your belt and no safety issues and good insurance, no broker won't turn you down for a load. Okay, it's bad when you go to a company and you can't get a load because of their safety rating, and other drivers are not on time to their appointments, and people don't want to mess with you because they don't know if you're going to deliver the load or not, or if it's going to get there safely. Okay, you don't have that to worry about. We've been working for the last 3 years to make sure that our numbers are good, and our safety is good, and our insurance is good, and everything is paid. Okay, so I just want those type of people around me that's responsible to do what they need to do, and that's just grown people. Like, hey, Tamara, I got my own equipment, I got my truck. Even if you got your own trailer or whatever the case may be, you don't have to do power only with me. You can have your own truck and trailer. But if you just know what you're doing, hey, I got these contacts with these brokers. I'm already, doing my thing. Continue to do your thing. I'm not here to, my thing is just to make sure that we compliant. My thing is to get the paperwork in there on time. My thing is to make sure that you get paid on time. Okay. And I think a lot of times what saved us as well is we get paid daily. Okay. I get paid every day. Every day I complete a load, next day it's in the bank account, except on the weekends. Okay. If I complete on Friday, it ain't going to be there on Saturday. It ain't going to be there on Sunday. Okay. It's going to be there on Monday. Okay. But we're trying to do right now, let me see what my numbers are looking like. Let me tell you what the numbers that I like the truck to look like a week. Okay, so each truck I would like them to do $1,500 a day. $1,000 is real easy. You could do $1,000 a day. Okay, but I like to push everybody to 1,500 a day. Now, well, how can they do that? I'm in charge of dispatching the loads, okay? So it's up to me to make sure my trucks do 1,500 a day, okay? So 1,500 a day, and that's good. So 1,500 a day times 3 trucks, what's that? 1,000, 3,000 a day. 3,000. If the trucks do 3,000 a day, and they out here 5 days, that's 15 a week. If they do 6, that's 18 a week. So I like to push them to like 15. Everybody at 1,500 a day. So let's just, what if we did 2,000? 2,000 times 3 trucks, that's 6,000 a day. 6,000 times 5 days is what, 30,000 a week. Okay, so we're not at 30,000 a week yet, but anywhere between 20,000 a week, 20, 40, 60, 80,000 a month, 20, 40, 60, 80,000 a month. So I like my trucks to be anywhere between 20,000 a week. You don't got to work too hard. We're not going to California. Because you got to have something extra to go to California now. You just can't just roll out there when you get ready. You got to have some kind of compliance or something to go out there. So the money is not that good for me or my trucks to be running to California, especially with that fuel out there. Who wants to entertain that? Okay. And snow. My trucks don't go in snow. No, let me take that back. Now, there was some snow last week in Ohio or whatever the case may be, but normally my trucks are not in snow, because with that snow and that rain and all that kind of stuff, it rusts out your trucks. Okay. um, it will rust out your trucks really fast. So we try to stay in regional, where I love Pennsylvania, so I will run up to Pennsylvania in a minute. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Arkansas, Texas, Kansas, Missouri, um, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, North Carolina. Um, yeah, that's my stomping ground. That's where I'm comfortable at. Okay, I don't go out to Oregon, Washington, none of those places, honey. When I went to Washington one time, and I told the Lord, I said, listen, if you ever get me out of this situation up here in Washington, where I'm 3 days away from home, you don't ever have to worry about me coming up here again. Okay, so I don't do no Colorado, I don't do no Oregon, I don't do no Washington, no Wyoming, no Nebraska, no Idaho, no Iowa, none of that. I don't do none of that. Okay, we stay low and go. Short miles, over $3 a mile. You could run your short miles, and if you could get two of them in a day, okay, and they 700 miles a piece. I mean $700 a piece. There we are. Bam. There you go. You got your 1,500 for the day. Go on and go to sleep. Let's do 1,500 more tomorrow. Okay. Not always you can reach that goal, but you try to get to as close of it as you can. Okay. And sometimes somebody may make over that. They may make 17 or whatever, and it will take the place if somebody come up short of 12 or 1,000. Okay. So even though those expenses of like $25,000-$30,000 a month, we try to make that in close to in 2 weeks, okay, or a week. We ain't gonna make it in a week. We ain't, the market ain't that good that you gonna make that in a week. But you'll get, we back up there a little bit. So fingers crossed. Everybody do what they need to do. We keep the maintenance. You got to get your PLs done. That's like 700, whatever. These tires is killing me, child. I don't know what going on. It's like I wish I could get my money from these states that with these highways and all this kind of stuff, because baby, some of these roads is just killing me. Every time I go over, I'm like, oh, I know that's like a little dig in my tire. But you pay close attention to that stuff. And another thing is, like, being an owner operator and leasing on to somebody, it teaches you, whenever you get ready to get your authority, it teaches you to be able to be prepared. Okay. And a lot of things that will save your day is having a cash flow. Along with having a cash flow, you got to make sure that credit is good. Okay. And I'm talking about on your personal side and your business side. Okay. For the first time in my adult life, I got like a Discover card. I was like, what, I get a Discover card for? Like, Discover? Child, let me tell you something. I was on prepaid cards for the longest. Okay. Now I'm like on, everybody sending a card, an Amazon card, Walmart card, a Discover card. And with that much power and that much credit, it's very easy to run that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very easy to run that up, but you have to have discipline, and you have to have restraint. And I do take those cards and I keep them, because you never know what may happen. Okay. So if I got $10,000 on my Discover, I got 15,000 on my Amazon, I got, 20, 30,000 on this, keep that, right? Keep them cards running in, and you just save that for emergency purposes. So if I have a breakdown and it's $2,000, I can, and I'm in a tough spot or whatever the case may be, you can use that card to be able to, have your cash flow. It's very important to have cash flow out here, okay? And to network with people, and you want to network with people that can help you. Not only that, you can help them, but they can help you. I want to be around people that if I'm getting rut and I'm like, hey, you got $20,000 to next week. I want to be around people that say $20,000. Oh, here till next week. Here. And usually those people are like banks and stuff like that. So that's where I have my relationships with. Okay. So when I'm having relationships in the industry and I'm talking to people and I'm having these conversations, it's on the phone with finance people. It's on the phone with banks. It's on the phone. If I need $50,000, I need to be able to have a relationship with somebody that could be like, send me over your bank statement, send me over this, send me over that, and they could look at it and be like, okay, she could make this back in 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. Here, you need 50,000. There you go. Okay, so those are the type of conversations and those are the type of relationships that you need to have. Okay, and maybe you need to take a time. Nothing's wrong with taking a break from social media. Okay, everybody don't have to know your everyday move and your everyday of what's going on with you. Okay, build your business, build your credit. Okay, right now, if you're an operator and these trucks and stuff is low, and you go out there and get your truck, pay that, pay it on time, make sure you're doing that. Build your fuel cards up. Okay, right now I could get $20,000 in fuel credit if I need it. Okay, build your fuel credits up. Okay, make sure you have accounts with these tire companies so that when you need a tire, you're getting it at the best rate. Okay, so you got to make sure you have your discounts with your tire. You got to make sure you got you a good maintenance person, or you got a good shop that they ain't trying to take advantage of you every time you roll up in there. Okay, when I'm rolling around with used trucks, yes, man, people out here don't understand what it takes to run a trucking business. Like, yeah, because that's why I don't talk about it a lot, because it's kind of Greek. But I want you to be prepared. We got to talk about it. If you're talking about being a boss, if you're talking about being an owner, we got to talk about it. This is big bills out here. This is big business. Okay, so these bills come quick, and if you playing with it, and you haven't built up your relationships and your network with people that can help you out when you get in a financial situation, it's over and done with like that. And then we back at square one, right? So why you want to do that, it's easier to deflect. Okay, sometimes it's better if you work on self first, right? Work on your business. Don't be available to everybody. You can't. Thank you, Imperative. I appreciate that. But that's all I want to do. I want to be an inspiration for you. I want to be a motivator to let you know that whatever it is that you want to do, your journey ain't my journey ain't your journey, but whatever your journey is, do it. You can do it. Put your mind to it. Whatever obstacles, whatever situations, or what's holding you back, look at it. Look at it. Stare it dead in the face. Whether it's your man, whether it's your gambling, whatever the problem is that you have that's holding you back from reaching the goals that you want to reach, look at it dead in the face and deal with it, whatever it is. Okay, and don't let nobody stop you from doing what you want to do. And sometimes that means that you got to be by yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with being by yourself. I'd rather be by myself, okay, and building my business to get to a place where I want to be than to be sitting there with somebody that is not helping you build. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? That's not helping you build. Every time you look around, they telling you about what you ain't gonna do, how how you gonna do that when you ain't got this, always discouraging you, always being negative. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Look it dead in the face. Whatever that challenge is, you got to ask yourself, hey, what's stopping me from being what I want to do, what I want to be? What's holding me back? Is it this man? Is it this, that? Whatever it is, what's holding me back? Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody going to be there for you but yourself. Don't nobody care about you out here in this trucking industry. Okay? So if you try to be friends with everybody, if you try to make sure everybody like you, okay, if you want to be everybody's best friend, okay, what is that doing for you? How is that getting you ahead? How is that getting you to the next level? How is that separating you from everybody else? So sometimes you got to be a little selfish. Sometimes you got to cut off relationships, you know, that no longer, okay, is getting you where you need to be. Okay, that don't mean you got to be selfish with yourself. You only got one life to live out here. What you gonna do? Be around people that wanna that you got to appease all the time? You know, if you do a little something, you go buy a little car or whatever the case may be, they got something to say. You go move into a house, they got something to say. Let me tell you something. People gonna talk about you when you're doing good. They're gonna talk about you when you're doing bad. Thing I say to you is give them something to talk about. Okay, because you gotta always remember, you focus on you. Remember, focus on you. Don't focus on nobody else. When you having conversations, nobody else's name should be coming out your mouth but the bank or whatever the case may be. Talk about business. When you sit up there having your conversations and you're on the phone with people, talk about business. Talk about how we're going to get to the next level, what you need to do, how we're going to help each other, because it's a give and take when you're in a relationship, friendship, companionship, whatever, business-ship, whatever it is. It's a give and take. Okay? You pour into each other. And if you're not doing that, what are you doing? What are we doing? It's 2024. What are we doing? I'm 10 years in this. I can't be doing the same thing that I was doing 10 years ago. You got to, and through that journey, you're going to meet new people. You're going to have new people come in your life. You're going to have people go out your life, and it's okay. And don't ever feel bad about that. Okay? Because as you grow, you have a new surrounding, a different surrounding. The conversations are different, okay? And you gotta let things go. I had to let the recruiting go. Arshawn is finished. Look at Arshawn. Look at my other truck, y'all. Look at my other truck. Let me show you my other truck. Look at Shiny. There's Shiny. Oh, I'm finished too, guys. So you know what that means? That means my time is up as well. All right, so me and Arshawn gotta get on the road. And like I say, invest. And nothing like having your family. Have a serious conversation with your family, okay? And say, look, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to have a family business. We're trying. I got a nephew right now. He's like, Auntie, it's time for me to get these trucks, these dump trucks. He wants to do hot shot or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, I've been waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you ready, I'm ready. Whatever we gotta do, I gotta do, because I would rather my family, but they can see it now. Sometimes you gotta show people, right? They don't believe you when you try to do it. Nobody was believing in me in year 1. Nobody was believing in me in year 2. Nobody was believing me in year 3, year 4. Year 5, we got a paid off truck. Year 6, we running we doing this. Year 7, year 8, we got 2 more trucks. Year 10, you believe me now? You ready now? Okay? I'm here. Whenever you ready, I'm here. My family is like, we ready, Auntie. We ready. Okay? So other than that, peace, love, joy, and happiness. You guys, I love you. Thank you for rocking with me, whatever it is. If I helped you get a CDL, if I helped you get a job, if I helped you get your truck, if I helped you get your authority, whatever it is, I appreciate you. I love you. And always know that if Miss Tara don't come on here every day, every week, every month, or whatever, she grinding. She working. You can always leave me a comment. I still look at my comments. Leave me a comment. Say, hey, I've been thinking about you. That's what I've been getting. I've been getting people say, hey, I ain't seen you in a while. You okay? I've been thinking about you, been on my mind. That's what I need, and just know I ain't going nowhere. I'm right here, but we building, we getting it. That's what you expect me to do, right? You don't expect me to just get up here and talk to you every day about nothing, right? When I come to you, you want, what's going on? What you doing? How many trucks you got? You still got your authority? Where's Arshawn? Where's Ripley? All that kind of stuff. Yo, you want to know what's going on? What you doing now? Oh, you doing the weight loss stuff? Well, how can I get with that? I want to lose some weight too. I love that. We don't have no drama. It's just peace, love, and happiness. And y'all don't do nothing but wish me the best. And I love you for that. And it keeps me going. It keeps me strong. It keeps me motivated. And it makes me not want to give up. It does. because it's like, hey, I'm trying to do this. I'm working out here. I'm doing this. I'm trying to buy this. I'm trying to get this. And I look up to you, and I'm trying, wanting to have the things that, to run my business and stuff like that. So that makes me keep going. That makes me keep, like, if I'm still going, you got to keep going. We can't give up, right? We're going to have some setbacks. That's all right. And that's why you surround yourself about people that's going to always lift you up when you're down. Always lift you up when you're down. Whenever I had a setback, whenever I had to let a truck go back, whenever I had to go to another company and start all over or whatever, y'all was right there. Don't worry about it, Diva. You're going to be all right. Pick your head up. It's going to be okay. Because you knew that the storm don't last always, right? We keep going. We keep going through the good. So if I could come on here and cry and, tell you how hurt I am and, all this kind of stuff of what I'm going through, I'm coming over here and let you know, hey, still hope alive. We still pushing. We still going. You wouldn't expect anything less, right? Right? So I'm here to let you know we still going. We still pushing. We still under the authority. We 10 years in the game. We 3 years under our authority, and we going and we moving, right? And that's what we're gonna do, no matter what, no matter what. So peace, love, joy, and happiness, guys. I am loaded. I'm gonna drive 200 something miles, and I am going to drop this trailer, okay? And I'm going home. I'm going to the house. You'll see me at the house. It's time to get ready to do this planting, to get in this garden. Hey, it's on. It's on. Okay, so if you're going to be at the truck show, I will see you there. Don't hesitate, message me, let me know, hey, Miss Diva, I'm at the truck show. Guess what they called me in my weight loss group? Miss Diva. I had to come because there's 700 people and everybody's not truck drivers, right? So I had to say, hey, this is who I am. And the reason why my name is Miss Diva is because that's what I had since I started trucking, and I carry it over to my weight. So I got people that ain't even in trucking calling me Miss Diva. In the weight loss place, okay? So it is what it is, and I love it. And like I say, if you're interested in losing that weight, I don't know if y'all can see it, honey. You can see that skin starting to sag or whatever the case may be. Let me give you a little glimpse. I didn't want to come back to you guys until I was like 130 or whatever, but I'm going to give you a little bit, right? My pants is down, and I am 165 from 210 pounds, okay? And I started this journey in October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, 5 months, okay? All right, guys, I will talk to you all later. Peace, love, joy, and happiness. You all have a wonderful and blessed day. I'm out. Bye. Or should I go get mad? I can go get my paperwork.